Now I'm depressed and watching Goku, and my girl broke my heart.
The internet moves fast, but sometimes a moment hits so hard it feels impossible to escape. And that's exactly what just happened with NBA YoungBoy and Cenat. One tense clip, a few seconds long, and suddenly every timeline is flooded with reactions, theories, and heated debates. Fans are asking the same question over and over. What really happened? And why did it escalate so quickly? At first glance, it looked like just another awkward celebrity interaction. But as the footage replayed again and again, people started noticing details that changed everything. The body language, the tone, the sudden shift in energy. What was supposed to be a casual moment turned into something uncomfortable, almost explosive, and viewers could feel it through the screen. That's when speculation went into overdrive. NBA YoungBoy is no stranger to controversy. His name alone carries a certain weight, raw emotion, unpredictability, and a reputation for not tolerating disrespect, real or perceived. Cenat, on the other hand, represents a completely different lane. High energy, internet savvy, and deeply plugged into streaming culture. Kai thrives in spaces built on humor and fast-paced interaction. Watching those two worlds collide was bound to spark something, but few expected it to look like this. Social media instantly split into sides. Some people accused Kai of pushing boundaries, suggesting he may have crossed a line without realizing it. Others felt YoungBoy's reaction was intense, even excessive, given the situation. Clips were slowed down, zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame like evidence in a trial. Every facial expression became a talking point. Every pause was treated like a clue. What made the moment go truly viral wasn't just the tension, it was the silence afterward. No immediate explanations, no quick apologies, no clarifying posts. That absence created a vacuum, and the internet rushed to fill it with narratives. Was there history between them? Was something said off camera? Or was this simply a clash of personalities amplified by fame and pressure? The timing couldn't have been worse or better, depending on how you look at it. With both fan bases already hyper-engaged online, the clip spread like wildfire. Reaction videos popped up within minutes. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. And suddenly, what might have been a private misunderstanding became a public spectacle with millions watching. Now, everyone's waiting to see who speaks first, waiting for context, waiting to find out whether this moment cools down quietly or explodes into something much bigger. Because in today's culture, one viral clip isn't just a moment, it's a spark. And right now, that spark is burning hotter by the minute. As the clip continued to circulate, the focus shifted from shock to context. People weren't just reacting anymore. They were trying to understand how a moment that brief could feel so loaded. The setting mattered. The atmosphere mattered. And most of all, the expectations people brought into the interaction mattered. When NBA YoungBoy and Cenat crossed paths, it wasn't just two individuals meeting. It was two massive audiences colliding, each with their own rules, norms, and sensitivities. For Kai, the environment he operates in is built on spontaneity. Streams move fast. Jokes land or miss in seconds. Awkwardness is often played for laughs, and pushing through discomfort is part of the performance. His audience expects that energy, and has built a career mastering it. But that same approach can feel invasive or disrespectful in spaces where boundaries are tighter and stakes feel higher. What works on a live stream doesn't always translate cleanly into real-world interactions, especially with someone who values control over how they are perceived. NBA YoungBoy's world is different. His image has always been tied to intensity and authenticity. Fans gravitate to him because he doesn't dilute his emotions to fit expectations. That rawness is part of his appeal, but it also means moments can escalate quickly when something feels off. To his supporters, that intensity reads as honesty. To critics, it can look like volatility. In a split-second interaction, those interpretations collide. As viewers replayed the clip, many pointed out how quickly the energy changed. 1 second felt neutral, even calm. The next felt tense, guarded. It wasn't about a single word or gesture. It was about the shift. That's what made the moment uncomfortable to watch. People sensed that something crossed an invisible line, even if they couldn't agree on what it was. The speculation grew louder because neither side immediately clarified anything. In the absence of facts, assumptions thrive. Some claimed there was prior tension that never went public. Others suggested a misunderstanding amplified by nerves and cameras. A few insisted the clip was being overanalyzed, arguing that not every awkward moment needs a narrative. But once something goes viral, it stops belonging to the people involved. It becomes communal property, shaped by collective interpretation. Another factor fueling the fire was the imbalance of formats. Kai's audience is used to seeing everything in real time, unfiltered. NBA YoungBoy's presence, by contrast, is often more controlled and selective. When those formats collide, even small misalignments feel magnified. A pause that might mean nothing suddenly feels intentional. A look that could be neutral gets framed as confrontational. Context collapses under the weight of constant replay. Fans also brought their own histories into the conversation. NBA YoungBoy supporters emphasized respect, pointing out how often artists are placed in uncomfortable situations for content. They argue that artists shouldn't have to perform friendliness on demand, especially when cameras are rolling. On the other side, Kai's supporters defended his intentions, framing the moment as an innocent interaction blown out of proportion by selective clips and dramatic framing. What made the debate so heated was that both sides had valid points. Content culture does blur boundaries. Fame does create pressure, and not everyone reacts the same way under a spotlight. The problem wasn't just what happened. It was how quickly people decided who was right or wrong without acknowledging the gray area in between. Industry voices quietly weighed in too, noting how these moments highlight a growing tension between streaming culture and traditional celebrity spaces. Streamers thrive on access and immediacy. Artists often guard their energy and image. When those worlds intersect, there's no shared rulebook. One side expects openness, the other expects distance. Misunderstandings become almost inevitable. As hours passed, the clip kept gaining traction, not because of new information, but because of unresolved tension. Viewers wanted closure, an explanation that would snap everything into place. But real life rarely offers that on demand. Sometimes a moment is just a moment, messy and incomplete, resisting neat conclusion. At its core, this wasn't just about NBA YoungBoy and Cenat. It was about how fame, cameras, and expectations collide in unpredictable ways. A few seconds of discomfort exposed a much bigger conversation about respect, boundaries, and the cost of constant visibility. And as the clip continued to travel across platforms, one thing became clear. Whatever the truth behind that moment is, it's already been transformed by the internet into something far bigger than the interaction itself. As the viral moment continued to dominate timelines, the conversation began to mature in an unexpected way. Instead of just debating who was right or wrong, people started questioning the system that turned a brief, awkward interaction into a full-blown online event. This wasn't just about NBA YoungBoy or Cenat anymore. It was about how quickly modern culture demands instant access, instant reactions, and instant explanations from public figures. One of the biggest points of discussion became respect and consent in content creation. Streamers, by nature, live in a world where cameras are always on and moments are always being captured. For many, that's normal, but not everyone operates that way. Artists like NBA YoungBoy often keep their circle tight and their public appearances controlled. When those two approaches collide, it raises an uncomfortable question. Does being famous mean you're always available for content, even when you didn't sign up for that moment? Supporters of YoungBoy argued that his reaction, whatever it truly was, came from feeling put on the spot. Being filmed or engaged unexpectedly, especially in a high-pressure environment, can feel intrusive. To them, the moment wasn't aggression, it was a boundary being asserted. They pointed out how often artists are expected to smile, joke, and perform approachability regardless of their mood or mental state. On the other side, Cenat supporters pushed back hard. They emphasized that Kai's brand is built on genuine interaction, not exploitation. From their perspective, there was no malicious intent, just an attempt at a normal, friendly exchange that went sideways. They argued that labeling the moment as heated or confrontational unfairly villainized Kai for something that could have been simple miscommunication. The absence of clear audio or extended footage made everything worse. Short clips are dangerous because they strip away context. What happened before? What was said after? What was cut out? Without those answers, people filled in the blanks with assumptions shaped by their own biases. Those who already viewed YoungBoy as volatile saw confirmation. Those who trusted Kai's character saw exaggeration. As reaction videos continued to pile up, another pattern emerged: escalation through commentary. Each reaction added a layer of intensity, often framing the moment more dramatically than the last. Thumbnails used words like explosion and meltdown. Titles implied deep beef. The original interaction was being stretched into something it may never have been. That's how viral narratives grow, not from facts, but from amplification. Industry insiders and longtime fans began warning about the consequences of this cycle. Turning every awkward exchange into drama discourages authentic interaction altogether. Artists become more guarded. Streamers become more cautious. The space between different entertainment worlds becomes more rigid, not more collaborative. What started as a crossover moment risks becoming a cautionary tale. Another layer people began discussing was emotional projection. Fans often project their own frustrations, loyalties, and histories onto celebrities. The clip became a mirror. Some saw disrespect because they've experienced it. Others saw overreaction because they've been misunderstood. In that sense, the debate revealed as much about the audience as it did about the people on screen. The longer both NBA YoungBoy and Kai Cenat remained silent, the more the conversation splintered. Silence can mean many things: processing, avoidance, legal caution, or simply not caring. But online, silence is rarely interpreted neutrally. Each passing hour allowed new theories to form, some more extreme than the last. Interestingly, a few voices urged restraint. They reminded people that not every tense moment leads to lasting conflict. Sometimes energy clashes, egos misalign, and people move on without explanation. Those perspectives didn't trend as much, but they added needed balance to a conversation that was starting to spiral. At this stage, the moment existed in a strange space between reality and narrative. It had already taken on a life of its own, regardless of what either person intended. Even if both parties were to downplay it later, the clip would still live on, replayed and reinterpreted indefinitely. What this moment ultimately exposed was the fragility of public perception. A few seconds can outweigh years of context. A silent pause can be louder than a statement. And in a world where everything is recorded, even misunderstanding becomes permanent. As people waited for clarity, one thing was becoming clear. The real story wasn't just about what happened in that moment, but about how quickly the internet turns ambiguity into certainty. And until someone breaks the silence, or time dulls the intensity, that uncertainty will continue to fuel debate, proving once again that viral culture doesn't need answers to keep moving. As the viral moment between NBA YoungBoy and Kai Cenat continued to dominate social media, a new dimension emerged, one that went beyond speculation about who was at fault. Observers began dissecting the cultural dynamics at play, examining how fame, platform, and audience expectations collided to make a single interaction feel explosive. What was happening was no longer just about personalities. It was about systems, norms, and the pressures that govern modern celebrity behavior. For starters, consider the contrasting ecosystems both men operate within. Kai Cenat's world thrives on accessibility. Streams are immediate, unscripted, and interactive. Audience engagement is everything, and his success depends on creating moments that feel spontaneous and authentic. Even minor awkwardness can be turned into content. His brand isn't just built on personality, it's built on a performative responsiveness that keeps viewers glued to the screen. In that environment, a brief misstep is often amplified for comedic or dramatic effect. NBA YoungBoy, however, exists in a different environment. While he is no stranger to the internet, his public image has been carefully curated over years of managing both loyalty and perception. Fans admire his intensity and authenticity, But there's also a clear boundary around what is considered acceptable engagement. Surprise interactions, especially those caught on camera, are often interpreted as invasions. That means even a seemingly small gesture from a streamer can trigger a reaction amplified by years of learned caution and the weight of reputation. Social media played its part in transforming the interaction from a brief real-life moment into a viral event. Short clips, often slowed down or zoomed in, stripped away context and highlighted tension. Viewers began analyzing every glance, pause, and hand gesture. Comment sections exploded with theories ranging from plausible to absurd. Memes began circulating, humorously exaggerating the conflict while reinforcing it at the same time. Each layer of commentary further solidified the moment as a defining event, regardless of intent. Another factor fueling the conversation was the audience's emotional investment. Fans of YoungBoy emphasized respect, loyalty, and personal boundaries. For them, any perceived challenge is a signal to react, sometimes defensively. Kai's followers, conversely, emphasize spontaneity, relatability, and humor. For them, a tense interaction is an opportunity for entertainment, not confrontation. Both audiences brought their biases and histories into the conversation, magnifying the intensity of online debates. The silence from both parties only added fuel to the fire. When neither responded, speculation grew unchecked. Every post, story, or subtle reaction was scrutinized for hidden meaning. Analysts debated the implications of timing, eye contact, and micro-expressions, treating seconds of footage like evidence in a trial. Without clarification, the narrative became increasingly shaped by collective interpretation rather than fact. Industry insiders began noting that moments like this illustrate a broader tension in modern entertainment culture. Streamers and musicians operate in overlapping but often conflicting social spheres. One thrives on access and immediacy, the other on control and selective engagement. Misalignment is almost inevitable. These clashes reveal structural issues in celebrity interactions today, highlighting that viral moments often say more about systemic pressures than about individual intentions. The incident also revealed the psychological impact of constant scrutiny. Every action, no matter how trivial, is magnified for online consumption. This pressure creates a feedback loop. Celebrities modify behavior to protect reputation, but modifications are interpreted as signals themselves, often misread. Fans, meanwhile, become co-authors of a narrative, projecting personal expectations and cultural values onto every gesture. At its core, the interaction underscores how fame transforms ordinary moments into events of social significance. A casual look or gesture can be read as confrontation. Silence can be interpreted as provocation. Context collapses under the weight of attention, and the moment itself is often less important than the reaction it provokes. As discussions continue across platforms, one thing is clear: the story has already moved beyond the individuals involved. It has become a cultural case study in audience psychology, social media dynamics, and the pressures of public life. Whether YoungBoy and Cenat ever directly address the incident is almost secondary. Their interaction has already been transformed into a viral symbol, reflecting broader truths about fame, perception, and the power of the internet to amplify tension in ways that real life never intended. The next moves by both parties will be watched intensely, but no amount of explanation may fully undo what has already been set in motion. This moment is no longer just theirs. It belongs to everyone consuming, reacting, and debating online. And in that sense, it is both extraordinary and inevitable, a fleeting encounter made permanent by the mechanics of viral culture. As the viral moment between NBA YoungBoy and Cenat continued to circulate, a deeper layer of analysis began emerging, one that went beyond the immediate drama into the broader implications for celebrity culture and audience behavior. What many viewers initially dismissed as a simple, awkward interaction now revealed itself as a textbook example of how public perception, social media amplification, and fan biases can converge to transform seconds into an ongoing narrative. At first glance, the clip seemed minor: an exchange of glances, slight tension in body language, and a few fleeting words. But the virality of the moment turned it into something far bigger than reality. Every pause, gesture, and expression was picked apart in excruciating detail by thousands of fans, commentators, and influencers. Some interpreted YoungBoy's expressions as defensive, aggressive, or even hostile, while others framed Kai's energy as overzealous, intrusive, or provocative. The same footage generated entirely opposite interpretations depending on the viewer's allegiance, illustrating just how subjective online narratives can be. One of the most significant factors in this growing tension was context, or rather, the absence of it. Social media clips often remove vital information, the moments leading up to the encounter, the conversations off camera, or the emotional state of the people involved. Without these details, audiences filled in the blanks with assumptions. Some assumed pre-existing tension, others assumed intent to provoke. The result was a perfect storm for speculation. Suddenly, a few seconds of footage became a headline, a trending topic, and a full-blown debate across multiple platforms. The two personalities involved amplified this effect simply by virtue of who they are. NBA YoungBoy carries a reputation for intensity, unpredictability, and a fiercely protective public persona. Every interaction is interpreted through that lens. Cenat, in contrast, thrives on engagement, energy, and rapid-fire humor. What is spontaneous and normal in Kai's world can appear jarring or disrespectful when filtered through the expectations surrounding YoungBoy. The collision of these two distinct spheres, traditional celebrity versus high-energy streaming culture, magnified the tension beyond what might have occurred in a private context. Fans played a significant role in escalating the drama. Comment sections quickly transformed into battlegrounds, with supporters and critics debating motive, character, and loyalty. Memes began circulating that exaggerated the moment, making it feel larger than life. Each new reaction clip, analysis video, or commentary thread added layers of narrative, reinforcing the perception of confrontation regardless of what actually transpired. In this sense, the internet itself became an active participant in the story, reshaping reality in real time. Interestingly, the silence from both YoungBoy and Kai also contributed to the drama. Neither immediately addressed the clip or provided clarification, which allowed speculation to thrive unchecked. In today's social media landscape, absence often speaks louder than words. A single statement could either quell rumors or ignite further debate, so silence becomes both a protective mechanism and a narrative amplifier. Each day without comment fueled additional interpretations, theories, and arguments. This situation also underscores the pressure of public scrutiny on celebrities in general. Every action, no matter how minor, is now dissected as if it carries symbolic weight. A glance, a pause, or an offhand gesture can become evidence in a virtual court of opinion. For public figures, that scrutiny creates a delicate balancing act. Be authentic enough to maintain credibility, yet careful enough to avoid triggering controversy. The interplay beyond the individuals involved. This moment sparked broader conversations about boundaries and audience expectations. Should public figures always be accessible and responsive to spontaneous interaction? Or do they have a right to private space even in public settings? Is it fair to judge reactions without full context? Or should fans accept that humans are complex and unpredictable? The viral clip forced viewers to confront these questions, highlighting how fame reshapes ordinary social norms. At its core, the NBA YoungBoy and Cenat interaction reflects a larger truth about contemporary culture. Virality often eclipses reality. Seconds of footage, when magnified through social media, become cultural touchpoints, shaped as much by audience perception as by the actual events. The moment is no longer just about what happened. It's about how the world interprets, reacts, and perpetuates it. Context, nuance, and intent are secondary to engagement and reaction. As the story continues to circulate, one thing is clear. This moment is a case study in the mechanics of online fame. It demonstrates how quickly narratives form, how easily they spiral, and how almost any interaction, no matter how small, can be turned into a viral phenomenon. Whether YoungBoy and Kai ever clarify the encounter may be irrelevant. the narrative is already out of their control. In the modern internet landscape, once a moment is captured and shared, it belongs not just to the individuals involved, but to the millions who consume, dissect, and debate it. This incident reminds everyone watching that fame today is a performance that extends far beyond the stage or stream. Every gesture, every glance, every choice is amplified, dissected, and reinterpreted in ways that often diverge from reality. And for public figures like YoungBoy and Cenat, navigating that landscape requires a constant awareness of perception, patience, and an understanding that virality often has a life of its own, one that can't easily be tamed or reversed. As the weeks passed after the viral clip between NBA YoungBoy and Cenat, the immediate drama began to settle, but the ripple effects of that moment continued to unfold in surprising ways. What initially seemed like a simple interaction had transformed into a case study on how fame, audience perception, and social media dynamics can interact to create narratives far larger than reality. The tension wasn't just in the clip itself, it was in how the culture around it amplified, interpreted, and prolonged it. Even after the initial frenzy faded, fans remained deeply invested. People dissected every public appearance of either figure, looking for hints that the NBA YoungBoy Cenat incident serves as a stark reminder. In today's viral culture, even the briefest interactions carry weight far beyond their immediate context. A glance, a gesture, or a tense pause can ignite discussion, shape reputations, and generate weeks of speculation. Fame has evolved into a complex ecosystem where perception is as powerful as reality and where a few seconds of interaction can ripple across entire fan bases. Whether YoungBoy and Kai ever clarify the moment may not matter. Their brief clash has already become a permanent part of internet culture, a symbol of the intersection between celebrity, audience, and virality that defines the digital age. What do you think really happened between NBA YoungBoy and Cenat? Was it just an awkward moment blown out of proportion? Or is there more beneath the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take, whether you're Team YoungBoy, Team Kai, or just observing the chaos. If you enjoy in-depth breakdowns of viral celebrity moments like this, hit that like button and share the video. It really helps the channel grow and keeps you in the loop on the hottest drama before anyone else. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss updates on the biggest stories in hip-hop, streaming, and celebrity culture. We dig past the clips and memes to show you the full context, the behind-the-scenes details, and what these moments mean for the people involved. Stay tuned. This story isn't over, and you'll want to be here when the next chapter